In this video, we're talking about correcting physical violence with calmness, with an emphasis on young children. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting and good communication, as well as how to build strong family bonds and child development and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. In this video, we're talking about physical violence and calmness. In this video, we're going to be talking about why young children use physical violence to try to solve their problems, and then we're going to be talking about how to correct your child with calmness instead of physical violence. Why do young children use physical violence? Well, because it's quite frankly the easiest way to communicate, especially when you have such a small prefrontal cortex. Young children are impulsive, and it's hard for them to form the words out of those emotions and those things going on in their heads. They want to be understood, they might want to control things, and the only way they can think of sometimes in the moment is to just grab, to do, to hit, to show instead of to tell. Now, oftentimes, in order to stop yourself from doing physical violence, you first have to give yourself a no answer and pull back, and then instruct yourself about what to do. In essence, you have to be self-governing. So if you've already subscribed to this channel, you know that this whole channel is about teaching self-government for parents and children, all ages of children, to learn self-government. So what does that mean? Self-government is being able to determine the cause and effect of any given situation and possessing a knowledge of your own behaviors so that you can control them. So that means that you understand cause and effect and you direct yourself. You tell yourself no. You give yourself instructions. You correct yourself. And when you talk to other people and yourself, you do it in an appropriate and effective manner. So there are 4 basic skills of self-government that are the foundation of a person learning to govern themselves. Those 4 basic skills are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. Each one of those 4 basic skills has a skill set attached to it, meaning there are certain steps that you go through. Those steps help the person define what things they need to improve upon next so that they can become better and better at self-government. These books here, the children's books, the 4 children's books, each teach one of the 4 basic skills. And this book here helps with the parent skills of self-government as well, so that you can create an environment where your children can learn and utilize those 4 basic skills for success. Oftentimes when children use physical violence, parents are tempted to also use physical violence or to restrain or to power struggle with their children. Power struggling is not the solution. The more you power struggle with the child, the more they will try to be more powerful and push against you. In fact, they will be learning that, well, as soon as I become stronger and bigger, then I will be able to win. Then I will be able to control mom and dad. And things will just become more and more aggressive. But it is not necessary to get aggressive and power struggle with children. Occasionally, it can be necessary to restrain a person. We always want to do it with calmness and make sure that we've pre-taught how this will happen if it is necessary. But most of the time, it is not, especially if you pre-teach your children the 4 basic skills that they need and you consistently correct those skills and pre-teach the child for success. So if you teach them, when you don't use this skill, then I will correct you in this way, and you teach them the exact words that you will use in the correction, then that child will know that they will be corrected the same way every time. Their anxiety level goes down, and when you begin the correction, it won't seem like anything they can fight against either, because it is the same every time. It's now a structure, not a tactic, and so there's nothing to battle. They just have to also utilize the structure in order to have the maximum amount of freedom. Now, choice is a big part of self-government. Children learn that they can make a choice. Oftentimes when children are fighting and being violent with other people, they feel like there is no other choice but to be violent with them. Now, in the TSG parenting course and in my book, Parenting a House United, I talk about a problem-solving skill called SODAS. That's S-O-D-A-S. This problem-solving skill is an acronym that stands for situation, options, disadvantages, advantages, and then solution. If you've already subscribed to this channel, you know that I have mentioned SOTUS multiple times as one of those things that helps develop the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex needs to know the reason why. It needs to be convinced why it's important to change the behavior, to change the processing pattern. We all have processing patterns in our brain, but we can adjust them if we convince ourselves why that would be important. Also, it's important that your young child take a personal investment in their own change of behavior and their own change of heart in order to stop getting violent with other people. One way that I help children take a personal investment is by talking to them regularly about their relationships, about their behaviors, and about key things that might be bothering them or that they're struggling with. So we have regular weekly mentor meetings, one-on-one with each child, where we set goals for their relationships, behaviors, academics, spiritual growth, social growth, all of those things. But then also, if there seems to be an issue with maybe outbursts or getting physical, then one thing I do is usually have a parent counseling session with them, and we talk about why this might be happening, what's going on inside their head, and then we make a plan for the future. Now, part of this plan is probably going to include a special consequence. So in our family, whenever a behavior or misbehavior is corrected, we usually just use an extra chore, because work is the antidote for a sick character. It's quick repentance, and it helps the children have to accept their consequence because they have to do something. Something doesn't just happen to them. So when we have a parent counseling session with the child, what we do is we come up with a negative consequence or a positive consequence that would be motivating for them to work on this one behavioral problem. So what might motivate them? Maybe having a positive consequence could be motivational, but oftentimes you also need to have a negative consequence to help motivate a person to change their behavior. For instance, you could say, if you use physical violence, if you hit another person, then automatically that would be 30 minutes of work. Or automatically you would need to go to the calm down place, get calm, then you would earn 30 minutes of work. So you might have to talk through some of those things. If you're not sure what the calm down place is, then there is a whole video I have all about how to use the calm down place with young children, so be sure to take a look at that. I know a lot of parents use spanking. There's also videos on this channel related to spanking and why I don't use spanking. I'm going to highly recommend going and seeing those videos also. But mostly what you want to do is just stay calm. Stay completely calm and follow the script for good teaching and follow through. Be very firm. They need to know that you will consistently follow through on the teaching. Once you've determined in a parent counseling session what type of negative consequence you're going to be utilizing, then you have a good teaching moment when the next situation occurs. Good teaching moments are what I call corrections. There are 7 steps to a good correction. First, you describe the situation that occurred. Then you give a reason why that wasn't a good way to handle it. Then you describe what should have happened. Then you tell them what negative consequence they earned. So if it's 30 minutes of work, then you would tell that there. Or if it's just an extra chore, then you tell that there as well. Then you praise them for accepting their consequence. Hopefully they do. If not, you might need intensive teaching, which then would be the calm down spot or the rule of 3, depending on their ages. And there's a lot of training on that in the TSG parenting course. So be sure to get the full training when you're trying to utilize those things. Then after that, you practice things the right way, doing some role play practice, praising them all the time. They go and do their negative consequence, and then they check back with you and you praise them again. So it's actually a very upbeat, optimistic type of a thing. Hopefully though, you can pre-teach before a situation occurs. Now, pre-teaching is like the secret sauce for getting really good behaviors. If you can pre-teach before your young child is in a situation where they might be tempted to hit another person, then you have the opportunity of seeing them try to rein themselves in, and if they can do it. Honestly, if I had a child that was a hitter, I would be in the area a lot, and if I saw that they were getting to that point where they might hit, I would say, hey, stop, so-and-so, come here. It looks like you're getting tempted to be aggressive or be violent or hit or whatever words you use. Always use the same word, whatever it is. And then you would say, so take a deep breath right now, and remember, you can always disagree appropriately. So I would point them in direction of something they could use, and that disagree appropriately skill is one of those 4 basic skills of self-government that is going to be very beneficial for them and empowering too. Now, there is so much more I could teach about physical violence, but probably you're going to want to know all of the skills and principles of self-government. They are available on my TSG parenting course. Right now, there is a coupon code on the TSG parenting course where you can get 20% off, I believe it is, and the code is TSG Deals, DEALS. So you can only use it one time, but you can use that code for the TSG parenting course. So if you want to go to teachingselfgovernment.com, get a deal on the course and learn all about teaching self-government today, then I highly recommend it.